this pursuit of European glory, now for the familiar foe.
We need to win tomorrow. In football, is to win, again to win, and again to win, and again to win.
In towards McGrath! It's a fixture that evokes a different era in the English Highlands. In the space of 2 years, each were crowned European champions.
Oh, it must be! And it is!
This year, you know, our form has been amazing in Europe. That's the goal, to play in the final and lift a trophy.
It's a huge night on the banks of the River Trent.
Yeah, very good evening to you. We are live from the City Grounds. The weather is beautiful. And alongside me, Alan McAnally and Elmo Mohammadi. We are waiting for Lee Hendry. He's on his way right now. He's going to be joining us any minute. But Alan, welcome along. How are you feeling? The weather is beautiful. The scene is set. We could have been in Porto. Instead, we made this small trip across the Midlands. So, are you feeling confident?
I'm excited. I'm really excited. You know, to get to semi-final of any competition is a wonderful feeling as a player. It's coming from the position that Elmo are now for the club as well. It's been interesting to see the players and the manager talking about this specific game. But yeah, listen, I'm hugely excited. I mean, I thought we might be somewhere else apart from coming down the A38 to play Nott'm Forest. So I take my hat off to Forest for getting to semi-final as well, considering the position they're in the Premier League. But yeah, I am very excited about tonight.
Elmo, great to see you. Excited for this one. We've had some special European nights over the last few seasons, haven't we? But these next 2 Thursdays, they feel massive.
Yeah, I think next week or next 10 days are going to define our season. You know, it's a big week for us, especially in the European tie. We've been in this position before in the Conference League, you know, against Olympiacos, and we didn't go through. But experience from that and the experience from last year as well in the Champions League, playing against top teams. You can see the other day, PSG and Bayern Munich, and you imagine that you're beating these two teams at Villa Park. It just gives you a little bit of confidence coming to this game today. Yes, it's a big one. City Ground is always a good ground. You know, atmosphere is unbelievable. We were here a few weeks ago in the Premier League, and I think we should have won this game. We had a great chances, you know, we didn't take it, but we got a draw from it. We played very well, but you know, coming to this game is a different game, different competition. So we got the special one, you know, which is the manager who's special in this competition, and he knows exactly how to win games in this competition. So it's going to be absolutely exciting for everyone. You know, the Villa fans coming to this game, us coming to this game as well. Everyone is excited, and hopefully a good result for us.
It's the first All-English semi-final since 2009, Alan. Is it the same approach? Is it different? I mean, because they're Premier League opponents as compared to European.
Yeah, there's a kind of, I suppose. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, I doff my hat to Forest for getting into the position anyway. But certainly in terms of playing someone you'd expect to play a European competition or European opponent, it's not been that way for us. So in that case, it's a little bit stranger. But I quite like the fact that we played Forest here about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, because we were the better team. And I think that genuinely will just sit in their minds a little bit more than us. We're disappointed we didn't get the points, and they're probably delighted they managed to get a point. So I'm certainly much more happy the fact that we've just been here 2 or 3 weeks ago, rather than we'd already played them, it's done and dusted, and it was ages ago. So the players know exactly what to expect. But tonight there's just a little bit more gold dust on it, because there's something a little bit more at stake in terms of, with one game to go, naturally next Thursday, set yourself up to put yourself in a European competition. Whenever you're ready, by the way. Whenever you're ready.
Right, I was just saying.
Whenever you're ready.
I was just saying that, you know, we could have been. We could have been in Porto. To be honest, the time it took you and I to get here, we may as well have gone to Porto.
Well, we may as well have, haven't we? I mean, I went to Notts County just. I've just come across the bridge. I've had a right few...
Just saying, I came down to A38 and I was like, Burton and Lichfield. That can't be right.
And let me tell you, I've had some stick walking across that bridge.
I bet. Yes, you're looking fresh. You're fine.
I don't know about that. I'm sweaty.
You haven't, I would say you haven't missed much. We're just discussing tonight how excited we are, and it being an all-English tie. If the approach is sort of any different, Alan was just saying, you know, will it be any different when we play those European teams? Because the Premier League is just so much more physical, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think it is, yeah, there's no doubt of that. And I think I think when you're playing in Europe and you're playing against foreign clubs, I think there is a different mentality, isn't there? And there is a different layup and there's a different setup from away teams. And obviously the manager's been so key for that, hasn't he, in this competition? That's why he's been so successful. So I think, listen, you class this as a normal Premier League tie, wouldn't you? On top of a lot more excitement and a lot more at stake, to be quite honest. So two really good sides. Obviously, Forest have been in good form.
I said it's not a bad thing that we played them 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Totally.
They're delighted with the point, but we're disappointed that we didn't come away with a win, partner.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, watching the game, I think, listen, it's always going to be tight here, isn't it? It's a tough place to come. I think first and foremost, I think everyone's harping on about how good form they're in at the moment. They've scored 9 goals in their last 2 games. Listen, they played Sunderland. We've stuck goals past Sunderland. They played Burnley, who were relegated. So, listen, let them have that sort of advantage if they want it. But we come into this game in decent form. I know we lost against Fulham, but I just think our mentality and the way we've gone about this competition has been excellent. So long may that continue. I think the important thing tonight is that we take something back to Villa Park.
That game at the weekend, Elmo, that 1-0 against Fulham, was it just one of those days for Villa?
Yes, I was there watching the game. It was hot, it was very dry, and you can just feel a little bit tiredness in that team, at Fulham. So I think you just ignore that game straight away after the game and just think about that game today. Because absolutely, I agree with Lee. Before Fulham, we were been in a great form. We're playing great football. Scoring some great goals, and some of the players, finding their form, especially Ollie Watkins, in a very right moment. So this is a huge thing for us. And I mentioned the manager a few times before, and he's absolutely a key thing for us today. He knows this competition very well, won it before, he holds the record, and he will be right on the head of the players before the game. It's not one game, it's 2 games. So we have to take something to Villa Park, and I'm telling you, Villa Park is always special in a European night. So a result for us today will do us absolutely a massive favour. going back to Villa Park in the next week.
You both mentioned that 1-1 game against Forest, Alan.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you saw in that game from Forest that would concern you tonight?
Yeah, I think they carry a threat. They've got some really good players. There's one player in particular that I've been a huge fan of for ages, Morgan Gibbs-White, and he seems to be the kind of, not really the engine, but certainly the orchestrator, I think, and anything good happens. And of course they've got big Chris Wood back, which is a huge thing for them. They were missing him for a large part of the season, and that's going to be an advantage for them in terms of the big man. He scored against Sunderland, didn't he? With a little ball early, control with his right and finish with his left. So yeah, they've got players that can hurt you for sure. Defensively, they've normally been rock solid, but that's not been the case this year. That's why I think there might be something just in the mind from the game before here a couple of weeks ago that we probably should have scored, and Morgan's probably kicking himself that he didn't score that night.
Had a lot of chances that
yeah, we did. If we create that kind of chances again, we'll win tonight. Of that there is no doubt. But it's a European tie, and the manager, I would imagine, might not necessarily saying things differently, but you've just got to attack it just a little bit differently. Because remember, and Emma's right, 2 games. So it doesn't matter what happens tonight. Let's keep ourselves in the tie. Winning it would be lovely. We go back to Villa Park and we do the right thing. But it's even for the country, it's brilliant to have 2 sides in the Europa League, fighting for that place to be in Istanbul in the final. So yeah, I'm just really excited. I'm genuinely looking forward to this because I think we're better than Forest, but we need to go and prove it tonight. And I think that's what the manager's been talking about most of the week, actually. Yeah,
and I totally agree with you. I think, listen, everyone's a little bit nervous and sceptical of how this game's going to turn out, but we're a very good side. Let's not forget, let's not take that away from what we've done this season. You were sitting comfortably in the Premier League in the top 5, which is frankly magnificent. As I said, how we've approached this competition has been first class. So yes, I know we come here and it is a tough place to come, but we've had a taste of it a few weeks back. I think we'll approach it in a similar sort of manner. We've got to play the game and not the occasion. That's the key thing today, because we know what's at stake. We want silverware this season, and the players know that. I was at the training ground a couple of weeks back and speaking to the likes of John McGinn and Ollie Watkins. They're so up for this game. And maybe one eye just come off it the weekend against Fulham because we have got a little bit of a comfortable edge of where we sit in the league. This is going to be on every player's mind, and I feel if we can really up our game 10%, I think we could come away with the result today.
Do you think against Fulham, you were at the Fulham game, do you think some of the lads were maybe thinking about this game, especially, Elmo? Because it's not as if we played badly, we just didn't get the kind of same kind of chances we normally create when we're away from home.
Yeah, but if you look at the game, Alan, we had some great chances, to finish the game. Ollie and Morgan in the first half, and Tammy when he came on, that should have been us. Fulham only had like a couple of chances, they took one. So one of those games, we just thinking, it's early kick-off, it's hot and dry, and just wake up. So it was just mentally something, they were not prepared for. And yeah, of course, they have an eye in this game today because everyone thinking of them. It's a huge chance, to win a trophy for this football club for a long, long time, So Ollie yesterday speaking about that for him as a striker as well, scoring so many goals. But what matters is, when you finish your career, when you retire, people just remember that whatever you score, how many goals you score, you just remember the trophies you won. This is one thing. John McGinn is speaking about that as well. He's a captain, he wants to just, to get that cup for the club. So all these things, comes together to this game. But, we've been talking about, the manager, talking about the players, the forms and everything. But once you step the white line, behind you, just all these things just doesn't matter. What matters is 95 minutes of the games. And I'm telling you now, Morgan, and it was a good thing, we were here, a couple of weeks ago, because Morgan Rogers will be sitting in the dressing room before the game. He will remember that chance he missed. It was an open goal, and he will make sure, he will score today. So all these things it's a good thing, It's a very positive thing for the team. So preparing for the game today, it's a massive thing for the manager and the players. And it's good we have an experienced manager, but the players been in this situation before against Olympiacos a couple of years ago, and like I said, experience from the Champions League last year. Yes, Nottingham Forest is in a great form. Beating Porto, which is a very good team in European football, beating Sunderland in the Stadium of Light, which is a very difficult place to go. It gives them a little bit of confidence as well, but it's a good thing for us, so we can take it to the game today, and then a good result for us to take it to Villa Park next week.
Okay, well, let's remind ourselves how we did it then with that emphatic win over 2 legs against Bologna in the quarterfinals.
It was a fantastic scene to walk out to the Villa players tonight. The flags are waving, and there are 2.5 roughly 1,000 Villa fans that have made the journey over to Bologna. Tielemans there, wheels into the far post, and the player's gone down and it's gone in, and it's Ezri Kontranovic, Villa the lead just shy of half-time. For Ollie Watkins there, Watkins into the penalty box, going for goal and finding it as well. It's 2-0 to Aston Villa. Rowe into the Villa penalty box, so he's gone for a corner this time, he's found a far corner. Here comes, then arriving Ollie Watkins, oh yes! Puts Villa back in control of the tie. Villa of course leading Bologna by 3 goals to 1. As we approach kick-off here at Villa Park, around about 3 minutes away. Here's Buendia again on the turn. Rogers has gone for it. Rogers gets down. He's got to be, and it is Ollie Watkins. That was wonderful. The throw in towards Buendia. That's a good push. That's Buendia. Then that one's in the back of the net. Rogers for Aston Villa. Narrow angle goes for goal. But finds the back of the net. Through the legs of Rabazia. And Villa take a 3-0 lead before half-time on the night. So now Abraham there is moving toward the far side. Punts and turns and drills it home. The full-time whistle goes and Aston Villa move into the semi-finals of the Europa League. 7-1 victory on aggregate.
Wow, that was some game across the 2 legs, Lee. Really, really impressive. When you look back on it, how impressed were you with Villa?
Mightily impressed. I have been pretty much the whole time, to be quite honest. I think in this competition, I've said this time and time again, we've got a serial winner in Unai Emery. And that's why I just think that, you look back at that game in particular, it's an absolutely huge one. The goals we scored, I'm hearing myself twice on here, by the way.
That's why
yes, I was thinking,
feel a bit drunk
is this an echo or what? It's not a nice echo. This is
twice, Lee.
What you said was so good, I was delighted to hear it twice.
It's okay now.
It's gone now. No, it was. I just thought it was a really good performance. I think the first leg was always difficult, but the second leg was just, I mean, we showed class, we showed character, we scored some brilliant goals, and that's where I have been mightily impressed with us in Europe. You know, coming up against opposition that we don't see and play or watch every single week, and to really step up and show that the quality that we've had and showed all season, I was mightily impressed. And as I said, I think this competition, taking the form, taking the goals that we scored, taking the quality that we produced, we have to take it into this game tonight, and that's where I feel we'll have the advantage. I really do. I think we've been outstanding. I mean, some of these goals were magnificent. It was... It really was. I mean, the passing, the movement, the goals.
Ollie's 100th goal as well.
Yes, it was. I mean, it was special, wasn't it? And that's why I think the lads will be relishing the fact of knowing what's at stake. You know, I mean, I watched this goal. I mean, I've watched it time and time again, Emery. You know, the little interchange, the passing movement. I mean, it all looks so easy, but the times that we've done that this season and got so close and maybe not quite had that end product, it seemed to just all happen, didn't it, that evening, where we were outstanding and scored some beautiful goals.
And that was just quick thinking on the second, wasn't it, Al?
Yeah, I mean, we can talk through the goals if you want, but I'd rather go back to the week prior in Bologna. I think we looked like a really good European football club. Yeah. There was parts of the game in Bologna where we were under a bit of pressure. Goalkeeper made a couple of really good saves, but we kept on going and creating chances, and the result we had in Bologna set us up nicely so we could play like this, create a few chances and go and win the game properly and put it to bed, and none of us had anything really to worry about in the second half. But I go back to the first game in Bologna, and again it'll be the same for this evening. You've got to do things right, you've got to make sure you keep yourself in the game. There'll be spells in the game where you're under a little bit of pressure. That's when the captain starts talking to everybody and make sure everybody does their job properly. We get through the bad spell, which we all have, every team does, and we create a few chances and we go and we hopefully win this game, and then we can look forward to the next Thursday.
I think Almo, you made a really good point, is that let's not forget we played in Europe the last few seasons. Yeah. It's absolutely massive experience-wise playing in Europe. And I know, you know, people look at this as it's a Premier League fixture. It is, but it's not. It's Europe. You know, there's a different mentality, there's a different thought, there's a different process coming into this game. So having that experience of having European experience is so big coming into the game, and hopefully we use it to our strength.
The manager spoke about it a lot, didn't he, about the experience and how Champions League and Conference League, and then all of a sudden the same for here as well, didn't he?
Yes, he did, yeah. And he spoke about, you know, you have to be intelligent. You know, you playing in Europe is not easy for anyone, and that experience, you know, you got in the last few years is going to help you a lot. Playing, you know, you've been in the semi-finals before and you lost it, so that gives you more, you know, positive way to think about this game today. We're talking about Bologna, you know, you see their manager after the game speaking about Aston Villa, saying this is not a European League club, it's a Champions League club. It tells you everything, you know, the standard you said is absolutely massive. And I agree with Alan, you know, we won that tie in the first leg, you know, in Bologna. So make sure we do the same today, you know. We just go here today and just give it everything. Don't leave anything to the next week, you know. Just give everything today, because today is not going to be easy for anyone, you know. It's going to make it difficult for us. Chris Wood is back, which is massive for them in the right time, you know. The battling relegation as well in the Premier League, which is giving them a massive confidence, you know, going forward. Gibbs White, you know, and every one of them, you know, right in the finding the right form in the right time for them. So we have to be positive today. We have to start the game well. First 15-20 minutes, especially with the atmosphere here at the City Ground, is going to be massive.
Michelle, I just want to say something as well. I think we're totally forgetting that we've got the advantage here. By the way, we're coming here as the first leg. So listen, they're going to want to take something back to Villa Park, aren't they? Where they're going to get something and maybe feel that they've got an advantage. That's why I feel coming here first is our advantage.
Emma, you were saying as well before about Ollie Watkins and the form he's found, and his form across those two legs was absolutely key. How do you think he's found this form again? Because he's been so impressive actually since the international break. Has he felt perhaps that he's got a point to prove and he should be on that plane this summer? He
said it himself yesterday in the press conference that he's taking it personally, which is I like, you know, the mentality of Ollie. It's absolutely outstanding. When you've been left out in the national team, I've been there before, you know, in the same situation. You have something to prove to the manager, and he did absolutely fantastic after that. You see his form after the international break, scoring every single goal except the last one, you know. So this form for him it helps him as a player and helps the club as well. You know, it helps the players around him. It helps Morgan, it helps Buendia, John McGinn, all of them, you know, Telemans, all of the players, you know, behind them. So this thing, you know, it's a great thing for him. And the mentality as well of him as Ollie, you know, not just scoring goals, he wants to win a trophy for the club. So this is a massive, you know, advantage and for him and for the football club to win a trophy.
And you mentioned his presser yesterday there, so let's hear what Ollie had to say before this huge game.
Is doing really well at the moment as well. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's been my best season, but look, I'm just looking at forward now, and since I think we played Lille, from then onwards, my form has been really good, and yeah, I'm feeling like I'm getting better each game and bringing my best to the team. So I'm looking forward to these, you know, this last few weeks of the season. Is, you know, the most important time for the club as any, and yeah, I feel like I'm in a really good moment. It's amazing the journey that we've come on, us as players, and obviously the job that the manager's done. He hasn't brought in too many players, and yeah, we've achieved so much under him. So yeah, it is nice to see, because throughout any team in the Premier League, there's always a lot of change and a lot of transfers, and I feel like I said, we've kept the core of our team, and we've done really well. We've been through thick and thin together, highs and lows, and I think we know how to deal with things in certain scenarios. So I feel like we can always count on each other, and yeah, it's nice to have a core that's been together for a numerous amount of years. I can remember watching the playoff final and just seeing the scenes and how unbelievable that looked. So I think this would be a bit more special. But yeah, the thing is with squads, they change every year. No matter, since I've been here, they always change. Players always leave. So, you know, this is the only moment we're going to have of all the same players in the dressing room this year. And yeah, I think we need to do everything we can to, you know, to get to the end, and it's not going to be easy. Like I said, Forest have picked up some momentum at the moment, and they're in a good moment, and they're going to be doing all they can to, you know, shut us down and win the game. But yeah, I think we're in a good place, and everyone's looking forward to it. You know, we've done so well. We've always hit like a new milestone each year, but this, I think, would definitely be the best season if we could do that and cement Champions League. You know, that feeling when we got Champions League football a few years ago was unbelievable. But to lift a trophy, I think, personally, I've never done it. I know there's a few of the boys that have won different trophies in the changing room, and I'm very envious of them, because when you look back, you wanna win something. So that's something that I've strived to do, and I've always fell short, whether it would be with the club or with England. And yeah, it's something I'm striving to do.
Yeah, great to hear from Ollie Watkins ahead of this one. As you can see behind us, some of the players out on the pitch just taking it all in. Hey, I tell you what, the Forest players behind Matty Cash and some of the others, they're in like full-on suits, they're like lounge suits. They've got suit trousers on and white shirts.
Yeah, it looks like they've been to a christening, don't it?
Well, they look very smart.
Or a wedding, maybe.
I ordered three hamburgers and chicken nuggets.
A little bit big, aren't they? The Dicky Dirts over there.
Why have they done that? Just because it's a big game?
Maybe it might be Vítor's, you know, way of, since he's come in. Certain managers did like to do that. They like to I remember, I think it was John Gregory. I was going to get the old suit out because I seen you two had yours on, so I was going to get the old.
I mean, I've
suit
definitely
on.
left the side down. I've not, but you and I just haven't got the memo tonight, have we?
Yeah.
But does that? This is a serious question now. Does this, like, being this suited and booted, does it like make you feel a bit more nervous or anything? Like, because why are you wearing a suit before a game when you normally wear a tracksuit?
Yeah, well,
actually, I don't know what.
I always like coming in a suit, to be honest. I thought it brought a bit of sharpness, and you know, you sort of walk in feeling quite good about yourself. Yeah. But yes, I mean, away trips was always tracksuits, and home games we'd certain managers would like us smarting in our suits, and I think it sometimes sets an example, doesn't it? A lot of the foreign managers did like to do so, where they've got the shirt and tie on and you are looking very dapper. So it works.
I like the away games arriving in a suit.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Arriving like a team, all together. At home it was a bit more relaxed in terms of, because not necessarily did we arrive in the same busway back in then, we were kind of coming in dribs and drabs depending if we were coming from the hotel to the thing. But I always used to like every sharp as a tack. We arrive together in away games, we look together, we're the same, and we try and do the right thing. Listen, it's just a little thing. It's just an but the gaffer's probably said, look, do you want to wear suits? Do you want to look smart? He's probably given them the opportunity. Our lads are obviously just track suited, but that's okay.
They look smart though.
I think they look nice anyway.
Yeah, correct.
Let's get back to what Ollie Watkins was saying, Elmo, and about the opportunity to win something with this group, that they're all thinking about the silverware. In your opinion, is this perhaps the biggest opportunity Emery has had since taking charge?
Of course, yeah, he had the chance before, in the Conference League against Olympiacos, and we didn't. So this is another one, and you have to take it this time, because we're talking about the manager, how experienced he is in this competition, but the players as well, they got this experience in the last 2 years playing in Europe. So this is a great chance for us as a club, for the fans as well. Didn't win a trophy for a long time. So some of them has been at the club for 7-8 years now, so they want to just end their career with the club, with a trophy. So especially John McGinn as a captain, he's done everything with the club, getting promoted. And I was reading the stats before the game. Last time we won here, it was 2019 in the championship. The year we got promoted, and he scored twice as well. I give him 2 assists, so hopefully he find his. Hopefully, yeah, it was 3-1. John McGinn scored twice, and Courtney House scored 1. So in that run, we were in a great run. Getting to the playoff. So I think today is another chance for the lads today to prove themselves. So get a result today, and everyone will feel confidence going to the game next week at Villa Park. And everyone in Europe, I mentioned that before in the draw earlier the season, everyone was saying about Villa is the favourite in this competition. So just make sure you prove that on the pitch today, Just everyone talking about, either team is going to win from Villa or Forest is going to be the favourite for the trophy. So just prove it today, Just go out today and just prove to everyone we are the favourite for this trophy.
Just as Ollie was speaking there, I was just saying to Lee, this is not necessarily about Ollie Watkins getting 102, 103, 104. In Europe sometimes it can be a lonely job up top, and it's to make sure it sticks and hold the ball up for us. Not necessarily. It's a really hard. Listen, I lost 2 semi-finals of Champions League. 2 semi-finals. It's hard to take, and you don't want to leave anything out there. But sometimes in games, it's not necessarily about Ollie or the striker that's going to get goals. That's an added advantage sometimes, especially when you're away from home. And you've got to expect to be wrestling for the ball, keep possession, and bringing team players into the team that moves the ball up the pitch a little bit for us. And you need to chase every ball. He has to chase it down until he's got nothing else left. So it's a big job Ollie Watkins has got, and I'm delighted that he's got the mentality to say, I want to touch some silverware. There's nothing better as a football player to touch silverware and go, yeah, I won a league, I won a cup. It's brilliant. It's absolutely unbelievable. And when you look back, you're like, wow, what those days were incredible. And we have an opportunity to give all of us one of these days. And I think the manager will be impressing upon them, that for sure. But let's deal with the first 2 games we've got against Forest, and we'll worry about the final if we get there.
But this group does go and will.
Yeah.
I mean, if they do win silverware, we'll go down as legends of the
Absolutely.
football club.
Yes.
As simple as that.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's there's not just winning the trophy. There's what comes with winning the trophy, and it's what they've achieved. I think over seasons since the manager's come into the club, we're so close to actually going and being a real successful side where we're bringing silverware back. We're showing the fans that we're capable of doing so. This is a golden opportunity. It really is, Michelle. And I flip back to the Champions League where we played PSG away, and I mean, let's be honest, we held on in that first leg. It was a magnificent, and then we absolutely blew PSG away at Villa Park. It was phenomenal, and that's where I think about these European nights of how important they are. If you could go and get something, this isn't a PSG side by any chance, but they are a good side. They will have to come out and try and get something to feel that they've got an advantage coming to Villa Park. So I look back at them sort of fixtures and the games where I felt that getting back to Villa Park was something where we can go right.
Yeah.
There's really something for us to really go and try.
By the way, don't be surprised if the Nott'm Forest mentality is, let's keep ourselves in the game here, because we're playing a team that I thought we were probably lucky to get a point against 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. So they might have the same kind of mentality. I think that's why it gives us a bit of an advantage the way we did play, because it was only 2 or 3 weeks ago and we're coming again to set the record straight. So I'm going the other side. I'm going to say I think we come in here absolutely as favourites, and with a bit of luck we'll take a lead to Villa Park. I'm certainly going down. I'm much more, not aggressively thinking, but I'm much more confident in terms of, if I was part of the thing now, I'd be saying to the lads, hey, they were lucky to get a point out of us. Let's make sure we don't do the same thing again. As well as respecting the opposition, and it is a different competition because it's a two-legger, but at the same time we're in position in the league that doesn't lie. They're hanging on to make sure they're a Premier Division team next year.
And as well, I know you're going to mention the team news in a bit, but having Big Onana back in the team is absolutely massive for us. I know he starts today, you know, he missed the game against Fulham and we missed him in the middle of the park because in this kind of games, you know, semi-finals in European competitions, you need someone like, you know, strong, big, you know, can fight in every single thing, you know. Set piece is going to be huge for
and he's been brilliant in the last 3 weeks, hasn't he?
Set piece is going to be huge for us, either, you know, for us or against us, you know. So he's a big part of everything, you know, right in the middle, big lad, you know, tackle everything. He dribble with the ball, you know, drive the ball forward. So having him back, you know, he just came to us and he just say hi, but having him back, it's massive for us today, you know, especially with the Tielemans and John McGinn in the middle of the park.
Okay, well, let's get Unai Emery's pre-match presser thoughts yesterday from Bodymore Heath.
In this competition, how we are performing, of course, is being really fantastic. Now, in this semi-final, is 50-50 for both teams. They have their history, Nott'm Forest in Europe, really winning Champions League. And we have our history as well, but not recently. And recently we want to try both teams to keep doing something important in Europe. They are performing really good. They are now playing confidence. The last 2 matches really amazing. They have won and scoring 4 goals and 5 goals in the matches they played. In Europa League, the way they are doing as well is being very competitive way, and how they played the last 2 rounds against Porto and against Milan. They compete fantastic, even with the tight result, but they compete fantastic. We are going to try to use our experiences to try to get better in this one. But of course, I know how much difficult is to win in semi-final, because 50-50 we have both teams, and they have as well good players, good coach, experienced coach in Europe. I am focusing our experiences. I am focusing how we must respond tomorrow and the next week, play the second leg at home here. And I must try to show the players our way with our experiences and trying to respond better than we did. And now is a new chapter, and I want to write a new chapter here.
Lee, he is the expert in this competition, and as Elmo said a couple of times, we've been in a semi in the Europa Conference League before. How much we're going to draw on Unai Emery's experience, and how's he going to tap into that tonight? Because it is quite a funny thing to go into a first leg, isn't it? It's not like a normal football match.
No, it's not, is it? I think, you know, as we said, I think his experience alone of what he's done in this competition is quite remarkable. So that's again another advantage for us as a football club, for the players. You know, he's been there, he's got the T-shirt, and he'll be, like you said, he'll be tapping into all his experience of what to do and what to not do in this game, to be quite honest. You know, I mean, it's phenomenal what he's been done at this football club, because of lots down to him, his methods, you know, his intensity and his attention to detail. So I think like you said, over the two legs, this is where I think we've got the advantage having Unai Emery. I think,
Well, listen, if you and I were sitting if Aston were sitting in the dressing room and Unai's like X, Y, and Z, and you know his track record, you kind of stiffen up a bit and give it, "You're right, boss," because he knows exactly what's planned.
Yeah, totally, and that's why we've got the experience of him. We've got the experience of the players playing in Europe. So in all fairness, we've got the advantage.
Okay, let's hear from his opposite number then, Vítor Pereira. This was his press conference for Forest.
Tomorrow is the semi-final of Europa League. Against Chelsea will be our Champions League. It means that we are playing two big competitions. And we are in the end of the competitions. It means that we need to face every games with the same mentality. The mentality to compete, to get the best result as possible.
Yeah, it's a challenge. Obviously, it's a challenge, but I think it's one that the team and myself have, we've faced head on, and we've hit good form now. So I don't think we want to be saying we're in that scrap anymore, but we're working hard every week just to put ourselves in better positions, and tomorrow we're looking forward to being in a semi-final, which is a massive thing for the club, myself, and definitely some of the other boys in the team. So we're just looking forward to it.
Special for the players was a long road to be here, and now is enjoying. And the pressure, I tell you, the pressure is to be ourselves. The pressure is about to be ourselves as a team, to express themselves, the players, that express the qualities that they have on a pitch, to do everything, working hard to get a good result and to play good football. This is the pressure. This is the only pressure that we can have in this moment.
I don't really think there's that much pressure. I just think the team, the club are just, we're all obviously very proud to be in this situation in the semi-final, and we're just gonna work hard and just, get the best result that we can get. That's hopefully by winning tomorrow.
The only thing that I want to see tomorrow is a team without fears, with confidence, playing and enjoying the game.
We've touched on their threats a little bit, Lee. Would you agree, Chris Wood and Morgan against White? I mean, again, he's another one that's in contention for the England squad in the summer, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, even Igor Jesus up there as well. They've got some talent.
They started playing two up top, did they not?
They've gone 4-4-2, haven't they? And that's I think that's down to having Chris Wood as that second striker, because he's got that physical presence.
That's someone that's going to hold the ball up.
Well, it is, and let's be honest, he's a threat in the air, isn't he, from set pieces? So, there's a big man, little man there, isn't there, where you've got lots of sort of options if you want to play into that forward areas. Yeah, it is, and to be fair, I think we're seeing a lot of that. I think Emery's sort of gone down that sort of road of maybe at times going into a similar sort of formation where you're utilising your four players in midfield. So yes, I mean the two up top is I think might probably suit us, to be quite honest. I think
if they go from back to front and look for flick-ons from Chris Wood, it's the other guys run about it then, because you're not going to win an awful lot of headers against Chris. If you think he's going to win the header, then it's up to the other guys run about him to make sure they're alive to the second ball. Or even if it's played up to him, it's a hard work. It's a shift and a half for midfield today as well. I mean, it is an away, and it's an away tie after all, but even so.
Well, I was going to say the midfield battle, I think, for me,
100%.
is where we hopefully can take control of the game, because playing at 4-4-2 with two in midfield, we've got the extra body in there. So that's where we should try to take the advantage over the spaces and the areas that we could probably dictate the football.
How big has it been having our midfield back together in these last few weeks, Elmo?
Yeah, of course. If you look at the games, we played without McGinn, Kamara and Tielemans, and then it's a massive one, because you've been relying on them. They are very good players, especially McGinn and Tielemans, in our setup, and especially the way the manager plays, the play from the back, I don't think we're going to play from the back a lot today. You're going to see Emi Martinez, kicking the ball to Ollie and Morgan a lot today, just finding them space. If you look at the game, a few weeks ago they went man to man, when they pressed, so they just leave a lot of space, behind them. We have to make sure, using that space, especially with Ollie, running behind, and Morgan as well. John McGinn is holding the ball. It's a massive thing. And I mentioned Onana, I remember, when Chris Wood came on, a few weeks ago, it was absolutely, last 10-15 minutes, there was a lot of pressure on us, especially in the set pieces, about big Onana, he dealt with them massively, absolutely fantastic. So today is massive as well for us, big Onana coming, dealing with Chris Wood, especially when goal kick for them, it's going to kick him all the time. So big Onana and Poa and Ezri, all of them with Tielemans as well is very important for us. And then just, managing the game from the first minute. We have to manage the game today. Not everything attack. We have to hold the ball. We have to keep position. We have to just calm everything down, because their fans from the first minute, in the game, is going to be absolute atmosphere here. It's going to be rocking today. So we have to calm. We have to use our head. We have had the experience now in European football. So we have to use that today from the first minute.
I'm just a bit nervous at the sprinklers. Every week.
It's a new jacket you've got on as well.
It's not
What's
cold.
that new jacket?
It's not cold, so it's okay.
Come on. Morgan Rogers as well. When he missed that penalty, he was a little bit worried, but since then I just feel like he's kicked on again.
Yeah, I think he's found another gear, hasn't he? I think players miss chances, players miss penalties. It's one of them things. It's how you pick yourself up and go again. And I think he has. I think he's found another gear. I think he's replenished himself, which I think is important for us for this back end of the season. I do feel that having that little bit of a buffer where we are in the league has certainly helped the team and the squad, because there's a little bit of pressure off us when it comes down to that. I think this is why today you look at the players that I think they'll be ready to go, they'll be raring to go because of that situation. But Morgan's been outstanding for us all season. The little blips he's had, he's bounced back, and that shows his calibre of quality that he has as a player.
And for Forest, they'll be wary of our threats, won't they? But defensively, do you think they've got enough here for them to keep it tight? Because, like you said, it's one up top for us, two for them.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, they were rock solid defensively. They really were. They were. I mean, as good as I've seen a Forest team not concede goals, but that's not been the case this year. And to be fair, we only need to speak about what we spoke about 35 minutes ago, the amount of chances we created here against them 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I think that's been a problem for the Nott'm Forest Football Club in terms of conceding goals, with players getting injured, etc., not having the same back four, back three, back five, wherever you want to take it. So we need to take that and use it against them almost, and keep them under pressure. And I say to the lads all the time, say for the first 4 or 5 minutes, if I was Ollie Watkins, I'd be like, if you're in that wide area, Digne, Cash, whomever, get it into the box, make them defend. Make them defend and make them defend properly. And if I can put them under pressure as the ball's coming in and it's only knocked out, that's when we can support and put them under pressure. Make them defend. Make them do what nobody wants to do, is have to defend. And if we do that, I think we'll create more chances than they will.
Emery's 7th Europa League semi-final, that's quite incredible, isn't it, Elmo?
He never lost one.
I just wonder when, or what of the detail he goes into on the training ground with these players, because I've heard John McGinn say before that it's so pinpoint and you know exactly what you're doing. So as a player, how much is that helping them, and is it the right amount of information, because it seems to work?
Yeah, it helps a lot for the players. And you see how many players improved under Unai. You see the likes of John, Ezri, Ollie, all of them. Morgan, when he first came, was a different player. Now he's just like he's an international player now, and he's like 150 million if you want to say it. So all the players improved under Unai, because I've been in a few pre-season before and I saw how he's just like go into details. He's just moving players with his hands. I never had a manager like that. Just manager keep shouting at you. Whatever you do, but he just keep moving players with his hands. Make sure you're in the right position. In the right time. This is the little details. It makes a massive difference in the game. You're in the right, how you receive the ball, how you just pass the ball. The weight of the ball when you pass. You can see from the build-up as well. When the goalkeeper had the ball, he didn't start. Centre half started to the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper started. So it's all little details, but it makes a massive difference because the opposition, they would think about, okay, Emery Martinez is going to pass it to Poa going to pass it. No, but he's doing it different, and sometimes he's just kicking the ball long to Ollie and Morgan using the spaces. So all these things, it helps us a lot, and you can see how many players he improved since he came to the football club. So he's absolutely massive, experienced manager in the right time. So he didn't lose a semi-final before in European competition. He won it all. He only lost one final with Arsenal, in 2019. So hopefully today, is another one. He didn't lose and just make it to the next game to Villa Park.
I was at the training ground last week, I think it was, and like I said, I watched a bit of the sessions, and the intensity that the manager puts on the players, and we talk about tight areas, and when the goalkeeper's playing into power on the edge of the box, they work on this repetitively. Yeah. In tight situations.
Yeah.
We used to do keep ball sessions where it was 10 passes a goal.
Yeah.
This is team ethic. It's 11v11 in small areas, which you can imagine it's hard to even move. So you can understand that these players have got belief. They've got that confidence when they receive balls in tight areas that they can work their way out of a tight press.
We don't always like to see that sometimes, but
I get nervous.
No. But my point was going with just off of what both of the guys have said is that long one. We've had real success with that long ball over the top, and especially when Ollie or Morgan or somebody knows that it's coming, that's when we have to be ready to rock and roll, because if they think we're going to play it short all the time, and that's why it's something else, we haven't spoken about him yet, it's a big night for the goalkeeper. We have a solid...
He loves these nights.
He absolutely adores them, and that's why, but we still need to be rock solid, confident, and make sure, he's coming to catch it, he catches it. If he makes a save, he doesn't fumble it, and looks rock solid, and that then, almost through the team, progresses that nice little, not buffer because I think we're better than them, but with the experience they've got, just that confidence goes through the team, and trust me, from a goalkeeper in the back four, it goes right through the team for sure.
Let's take a look at the teams for tonight. Then the team news is just in, and we're going to start with us, Aston Villa, and there's your team, there's your starting 11. Just the one change since the Fulham game from what I can see there, and Amadou Onana coming in to the midfield. So it's pretty much as you were from Saturday lunchtime. Elmo, looking at that team, is that more or less what you were expecting this evening?
Yes, absolutely. This is the same team, we played against Bologna away from home. So we did fantastically well, and I think the manager just give everyone the confidence to just go and do it again. Just do whatever you did against Bologna away, do it again today, and then every single one of them, they ride the form, their form in the right time as well. Talking about Ollie, Buendé did fantastically well, against Bologna as well. Morgan, big Onana coming back, Pau Torres, Konsa at the back. And Emery Martinez, we're talking about the experience. He's been, in the huge games before.
World Cup final where he made a save
in the club and in the national team as well. Yeah. World Cup final. So he's having that pressure before. He's having that experience before. So he needs to use it today, especially with the players around him. Talking about Konsa, Pau, Kashi, and Dini as well. They're all experienced international players. So all, I think it's a great starting lineup for us today. A lot of experience in that team. They played together a lot of games, so they know each other, the relationship between them, especially the front line, Buendé, McGinn, Morgan and Ollie Watkins.
Let's have a look at the Forest team then. And Lee, when we talk about experience, obviously Villa have this European experience over the last few seasons, but this is the Forest lineup. Looking at that, is there any surprises for you? You've all talked about Chris Wood, who's going to be leading that line with Igor Jesus. He's in there as well, so it is the top two that you referenced there, Lee. Any other surprises in there for you?
No, not really. Obviously, Murillo's injured, isn't he? So Morata comes in at the back. So, he'll be a big miss for them because he's been solid, and Al touched on how good they've been defensively. He's been a big key factor for them last season. But I think it was the team that was always going to start. I think automatically look at the bench, and we just looked, didn't we, seen at what have they got strength-wise that they can turn to, and they haven't got a bench like us, and that's another advantage for us at the moment. But it was just how I thought Forest were going to set up. There weren't going to be a lot of changes, and for obvious reasons, they're on a good run of form, they're scoring goals. So why change it? If it's what is it? If it's not broken, don't fix it.
I'm delighted that I didn't realise it was the same team that played against Bologna, but that team against Bologna we did really well with. So I think that's as strong as we can go. And out with the change that Lee just spoke about, I think that's as strong as they can go as well. So it sets up for
their bench doesn't seem to have that depth.
No, that's true.
Would you agree with Lee?
That's true. And to be fair, we know nowadays modern day football, you can make 2 and 3 changes all at one time, and all of a sudden the last 20 minutes is a completely different game. So it's part of the game. I hope we don't really need to revert back to the bench. I hope we're 2 up before he even thinks about making a change. But yeah, listen, I'm delighted with our team because I think that's as strong as we can be. And like Elmo quite rightly said, the lads have played together a lot, especially in Europe a lot, and that's how we have to treat the game tonight, like a European fixture.
I heard a Villa fan saying earlier today that in their lifetime this is the biggest match that they've ever, and that we've had some big games over the last few years for sure, but we remember those European games from the 90s as well, but it does feel huge, doesn't it? It feels really special.
It's special, and it is a big evening. I think for like you say, for lots of reasons, this is a European competition, and we have to go back quite some time to even think and consider that we've been anywhere near that. So I mean, we've had a taste of it, we've sampled it, the Champions League, Europa Conference League. This is, for me, a really big game, and that's why I feel that a lot of the fans are feeling that way. I think what really stands out for me, yes, the 2 Premier League sides come up against each other, but I think the other fixture's massive. You look at Braga and Freiburg and you think to yourself, that is a winnable game.
This is the thing. I was doing a bit of research into what they've been doing this season and where they are in their leagues, and they haven't been doing amazingly. It feels the winner of this tie has probably the opportunity of a generation to win some European silverware.
Yeah, I think so, but I'll go back. I was speaking about Freiburg the other day there, and they scored a lot of goals. Having said that, they did get beat by Stuttgart in the semi-final of the German Cup the other day, but Stuttgart are sitting 3rd or 4th or something anyway. But I'd be more worried about if we get. Listen, I'm not going to talk about the next.
Can we not? I'm
just saying, if Freiburg get to the final, it could be a bit of a goal fest because they don't really have any other way to play apart from let's go. And Braga, well, listen, I wouldn't say I've seen a lot of Braga, but they've done well to get to the semi-final. So
let's get through first.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't want to even remotely talk about that.
We can't.
It's always nice to look, isn't it?
We're going to talk about anything beyond next Thursday evening at 10:30 when we will know a lot more. But Lee, when you play in these ties as a player, we've talked about it earlier this evening. When you approach the game, this is just the first half though, right? And that must be such a different psyche to when we played a few weeks ago we drew 1-1.
I mean, listen, I think it is the first half if you do class it as that, but that isn't going to take any away the nerves, the pressure, and what you want to get out of this game, because the first half can be the most important half, and that's where I keep saying, we stay in the tie, we get something today, because that is the important factor. I mean, it's not saying that you don't get something and we don't go and have a great result at Villa Park, but I think it just sets you up nicely for that second half. Listen, the lads will be feeling every amount of pressure because they know how big this is for the football club, for the fans, for themselves, winning trophies. I almost touched on, these boys will want to win some silverware. They've got close to it. The first half's important for me, and that's why I think we have to be solid, pragmatic, and we need to take our chances when we get them. And I think if we do that, I do believe, and I'm not, not just saying it because I'm a Villa. I'm saying it. I think we will get something today. I really do believe it. I think we're in great form in this competition. And I think the boys will use every bit of experience to their advantage.
Okay, well, let's get some predictions then. At the end of the first leg, Elmo, how do you see it being come 10 p.m. tonight?
I'm going 2-1 for Villa, Ollie Watkins and Joe McGinn.
Which one of you was right last time?
What do you mean? It's always me.
I told you before the game, Ollie Watkins will score a header.
You did say that.
Yeah.
Did he score? I don't remember that.
Yeah, but the game went from what? 2-1 to 1.
Yeah, it was quite like, you got one bit right. Macca?
I think Elmo's going to be spot on. I think if we can play the way we played, I mean, I'd love to say 2-0, but to be respectful, it's a semi-final of the Europa League. I would be absolutely delighted with 2-1 at India. I just think we're a better team than them genuinely, and I think this is a good night for us to prove that, to make us going in as proper favourites in the second leg. So I'll go 2-1 as well.
I think we'll get chances, and I think, you know, if we can get a goal early, we get that first goal, I think starting the game is going to be so massive for us. I think if we get that goal, I think it will stay 1-0. I really do, and I think we could look after what they throw at us, and they will have to, and that might end up being a 2-0. But I'm going to go 1-0. Like I said, you know, I don't want to start getting too far ahead of myself, so I'm going to go 1-0 Villa.
And just finally a quick word, you and I are both childhood Villa fans. We're like a kid at Christmas here. We're so excited. A word for the Villa fans behind us, 1,600 of them coming tonight. They'll be in that far corner, and obviously everyone's watching at home as well. Just try and sum up what it's like to be here. I know obviously you're a Villa legend, but as a Villa fan,
I'm getting like goosebumps at the minute just the thought of it, because honestly it's so big, and let me tell you, the crowd over there, everyone watching, I mean particularly here for the boys, they are going to be so important here this evening. There's no doubt of that. And it's not just saying it for the fans' sake. They are so important anyway, and they've been all season. But to get behind the boys today will be absolutely huge. And if they do, I might run over. If we get a result, I might run over and join them at the end of the game. I fancy that. I've got my trainers on.
I do.
Second
By the way, I'm not saying I might never see this jacket again.
Right, thank you all so much. We are all set then. Kick-off is at 8 from 7:45. Join us for live commentary from Mark Regan and Ian Taylor. Thanks for watching.